Central Ohio's news leader. This is 10 TV News at 6.
Well, dozens of nurses spoke out at the State House today demanding Ohio change a law that doesn't allow them to say they're too tired to work. But reporter Kevin Landers found hospitals are not supporting their proposal.
As a registered nurse, Heather Less says she's worked well beyond her 12-hour shift to the point she should have stopped working.
I had felt like I didn't know where I was at times. I had feelings that I was just not going, I wasn't performing to the highest standard of care.
In Ohio, nurses don't have the legal power to say they're overworked. 18 other states do. The Ohio Nursing Association is trying to change that.
Patients come to us to get care. They want our help, and we need to be doing that. And right now, when nurses are working fatigued, we're harming patients.
In May, 10 TV exposed the dangers of nurse fatigue. In one case, a nurse from Cincinnati, Elizabeth Jasper, complained to her bosses about working long hours. After a 12-hour shift, she fell asleep at the wheel, crashed, and died. We spoke to a nurse who told us about the dangers of working mandatory overtime.
If you're being mandatory and you're tired, you're just asking for trouble.
The Ohio Hospital Association is finding the idea, quote, the Ohio Nurses Association proposal does not further patient safety or enhance the quality of care delivered in hospitals. Instead, it creates barriers to the most effective delivery of care and would leave patients without access to necessary services. These nurses do have at least one lawmaker on their side. Representative Robert Sprague, a Republican from Cleveland, says he plans to introduce legislation that would make overtime illegal for nurses in Ohio.
So we got to focus on patient safety here, make sure that we understand that this is how medical errors happen.
The representative admits it's a complicated fix.
Well, what happens if you have a surge, an unusual surge of patients in that particular area of practice? You can't necessarily pull a nurse in that's unfamiliar with that specialty.
At the State House, Kevin Landers, 10 TV News.
Now, approximately 250,000 deaths every year in the U.S. are due to medical error. And as Kevin said, currently 18 states have regulations that nurses cannot be required to work more than 12 hours in a 24-hour period. Ohio does not have that kind of regulation. The Ohio Nurses Association said it surveyed 170,000 of its members and found that 35%, or 21,000 nurses, say they are afraid to refuse overtime for fear of harassment at work or losing their license. And they say that fear can lead to costly mistakes.